Whoa, my face cam. Why is it so tiny? Ah, why is my face cam so small? I don't know. Hello, hello, Twitch. Hello, YouTube. Hello, hello, hello. And hello to the streak of sun streaming down my face. I'm gonna choose to keep it. I have my window barely cracked a little bit, and it's lighting up my room in a nice way. Jesus Christ, my stomach. Excuse me. Yeah, don't mind don't mind the sun. It's just a crack in the window, and it happens to be a little inconvenient. Alrighty, back for another Borderlands stream. I've already made sure we're good to go. We are in fact streaming, and I'm not muted, so that is all good to go. Learned my lesson from last week. So where are we at? We did get a lot of stuff done last week. We got a lot of quests done. And this week, I believe we just have to continue the story. I wouldn't be surprised if there's plenty more side quests to be done, but I'm not too sure how long we have until we complete the campaign anyway, so. You know what? Actually, the streak of light is like directly on my face. I didn't realize it was right in the middle of my face like that. Hold on. Alright, that's a little annoying. I prefer it to be a little lighter rather than a little dimmer, but that's alright. Okay. Let's continue with the story. I'm not too sure where we're going right now. I know we rendezvoused with the go talk to Ned and then that's it. Or it could mean we're sent out to go talk to Dr. Ned, but there's all these roadblocks in the way, you know, typical Borderlands style. I'm gonna assume it's the second one. That sounds more fitting for the series, but who knows. Still don't know what these brains are used for. We might find that out. Maybe Dr. Ned will want them as currency. I keep saying maybe they're used as currency and I don't know where, but I could see Dr. Ned wanting them. Ooh. And of course, as always, I wish I could say it's been an eventful week, but really it has not been. We still have this, we're still dog sitting right now. We have this family friend dog. So we're still keeping after him. He's doing well. He's a bit on the older side, so he's not like running around all over the place and needs to be, you know, like taken out every 5 minutes, or like needs another dog friend to keep him busy or something like that. So he's been chilling out. He's been watching TV with us. Hello? Hello, am I back? Am I back? I disconnected from the stream for a minute. Am I back? It looks like I'm back. I was just talking about this family friend dog that we're looking over. He's still with us right now. I think he should be picked up by like the end of the week. So he'll go back to his family. But he's been chilling out. He's been on the, or he's on the older side of dogs. He's about 11, 12, 13 years old or so. So he's getting along with my dog pretty well. Not like my dog has to deal with a little puppy that's only a year old, you know? Not that having a puppy and an old dog is a bad thing, I'm just saying. I feel like they probably get along a little better because they're around the same age. Of course, my shoulder is still my shoulder. I should go to the doctor. I know I should. I say this every time I bring it up. It feels like It feels like I might be getting somewhere with just doing some basic movements and stretches and keeping it uh, mobile. Sometimes it'll flare up and it'll be a little worse, but in general, I feel like it's been better than it used to be. I feel like I can tough it out until something gives, but again, if it gets really, really bad or if it just persists for another couple of years, then yeah, I gotta go see somebody about it. I'm not one to want to take painkillers and get addicted to those, because I know I probably would, to be honest. Seems kind of too good to be true to take a little pill and have your nerve pain be reduced, but kind of the whole point of them, you know? Now, this might be a little different if I was, like, say, working a construction job or something that requires me to do a lot of physical labor, like heavy physical labor. But so far, I'm not doing that right now, so not all bad. Alright, we gotta check our progress and everything here. We were making great progress with the launcher. I'd said it'd be nice to get a pistol so we can get some progress on that, because we haven't had a pistol in a while. We've been using this revolver for some time now. And at this point, this thing I think is starting to fall off a little bit. It does great damage and all, but the corrosion damage is just being eaten up by the zombies. And the defilers, I think, just resist this gun entirely, so not great for this campaign. And I feel like by the time we get done with this campaign, we're probably just going to need something else in general anyways. Well, a pistol would be nice, or if there's like another... Not Defiler, because I'm sure Defiler is exclusively corrosion, just based on the name, but if there's another revolver that is like a shock or like a fire revolver, that'd be cool too. Let's say like a volcano or something, and it's a fire revolver. Oh no, I thought these guys maybe eat up all the damage, but they just take reduced damage. Okay. You know what, then maybe we'll just stick with the revolver for a little bit. See what we can get done with that. Pretty easy to use, and it's not too intrusive. Not gonna get me down every time I use it. Let's check where everything is, just to make sure. Critical hits, we're still making good progress on that. The revolver would be great for getting critical hits, don't get me wrong. Let's see. Combat rifle kills could use some work, for sure. Pistols is about the same. Shotguns is pretty close to being done. And rocket launchers, after all that work, it seems like we've just caught up to the other guns, which is kind of crazy, because we've been killing a lot of enemies with them. But we can maybe say, let's take a rest on that, because it's, you know, it's caught up with the rest of the guns now. SMGs is a little ahead. And snipers, oh, snipers definitely need some work. Okay, yeah, we can work on that then. That'll be good for the critical hits as well. And it looks like melee kills is doing fine. So sure, yeah, let's use a sniper. Let's try to get some critical hits. We'll just continue like this for the rest of the day. Alrighty. Right, so where are we headed now that we actually have an idea of what we're doing today? Looks like we gotta go to some bridge, Left 4 Dead style. Keeping in theme with all the zombie stuff here, huh? Sure they didn't mean that to be like that, but I feel like anytime I see some kind of bridge or like reach a safe house or something like that, it's always some kind of it always feels like Left 4 Dead, even though it's not necessarily a direct reference. Otherwise, what else are we doing? I know we have one side quest. Find out what happened to the others who came to stop the zombies. We gotta go find out about Jackie O'Callahan, I guess, as opposed to Father O'Callahan. And I'm guessing, if I had to assume, we have to go lower this bridge first before we even do that. Yeah, it's right there, so probably go collect this one, maybe one more on the way, and then the other two are across the bridge. Seems reasonable to me. So yesterday at work, I actually do have a story today. I usually don't have a story, or at least not too interesting of one, but yesterday we had the chance to go look at some ocean creatures, actually. Every once in a while, they have these traveling animal trucks. At the beginning of the year, we had some reptiles. We had some kind of lizard and like an iguana, something like that. I can't remember exactly what. Like a scorpion. It's not really a reptile, but like kind of deserty creatures or like cold-blooded stuff like that. I think there was a tarantula in there. What else was there? A bearded dragon. That was one of them. That was pretty cool. And then we had a couple weeks later, or like a couple months later, we had some savanna type animals. So like Australia type animals. So like a skink, skunk, a skink and a skunk, which are two different animals if you didn't know. There was a chinchilla. What else was there? There's a handful of stuff. It was pretty cool. Why do I feel like my face cam is so close to my face? Is that just me? Am I tripping? Because I feel like for a while my face cam has looked fine, but all of a sudden today it feels like it's kind of close to my face. I don't know. Maybe I'm tweaking. But or not today, but yesterday they had some aquatic animals, and they were all saltwater stuff. So there was some starfish. There was a little feeder shark. I don't remember the name of it, but it was like one of those long ones that just sucks on stuff to eat it rather than like biting it. There was a stingray. There was some hermit crabs, a spider crab. I think it was either a spider crab. No, not a spider crab. A horseshoe crab. Horseshoe crab. Spider crabs, I think, are the scary ones that like crawl on the trees and everything, which is also in Australia. I believe it was a horseshoe crab, though. Those little guys that look like a Pokemon, the Kabuto Pokemon, I think it's called. Forgive me for my ignorance, but I think that's what that was. So that was really fun. We got a chance to learn about those. The kids got a chance to touch them. A lot of them, I think, were freaked out, to be honest with you. A few of them were saying they were afraid of fish, which is understandable. I mean, ocean creatures aren't necessarily the prettiest of animals, so I get it. Um, and of course, you know, the media or like movies, TV shows always kind of make out ocean creatures to be some of the like deadliest and like scariest things you can see. They always make it so dramatic, like in Finding Nemo with the anglerfish, or those movies where the people get bit by sharks, which I mean is a real thing for sure. But I feel like more people, way more people, would die from like a bear than a shark. But the kids aren't really scared of bears like that. At least not more than you would expect them to be. No clue what Ned just said, but surely it's just some nonsense. Yeah, all that was very fun to see yesterday. I'm not too sure if we're going to see more of those animals. As far as I know, it's just the reptiles, the wildlife stuff, and the ocean creatures.
Son of a bitch. This freaking digital bearing module's
Joe Gamerski? That's me. That's me, bro.
trying to send me through a mountain. What am I supposed to do? Go through it?
Is that a prototype VR?
Passage? Ah,
That looks exactly like one of the consoles we have now.
can't jump over it. Damn it. What? Wait. No, I hate you, digital bearing module.
Realizing it's kind of hard for me to hear these voiceovers today. I know I am talking over them, but I feel like they always show up in the most inconvenient of places. Like I'm trying to tell some story or something, and they start talking, and it's like, well, I don't want to just stop my story right in the middle of it. I'll try to be better about it, but they are inconvenient. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see more animals. I don't know what we would see if we did. It would have to be some kind of rodent type thing, I think. So like mice, rats, other mammals. We already saw a chinchilla, so that's covered. Uh, like a hamster, guinea pig, but those aren't really too exotic. All of these trips have been like exotic type things. So I don't know. I'm sure there's more exotic animals out there. There's probably a lot of bugs. I think we actually did have a bug one, now that I'm remembering. We did have an insect type one, so we had like a... Completely blanking again, but there was like a spitting bug that spit like vinegar basically out of its horns. Um, there's some kind of thing that eats spiders. Some kind of something that does that. There was like a... Man, I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Just can't remember. A dung beetle. Classic bug. Roaches. Yeah, we had roaches. Big old Madagascar hissing roaches. Not the flying ones, not the flying ones, but just hissing roaches. So I don't know. Maybe there is plenty to see. Maybe we'll get a lot more of those, but I don't know. I've never actually had anything like that when I was growing up in school. It was kind of surprising to me that the district all of a sudden has it for the kids. Because I always thought my district, personally, to be like kind of low on money. Obviously, when you're a kid, you don't really understand the ins and outs of that. But we never really had any traveling field trips or anything like that really for school, like a science thing, demonstration, or like a museum type thing. But to be fair, I never really was in the after school program, so that might just be me. I might have just missed all of that because I wasn't in the after school program. Or it could just be a new thing. I don't know. We did have all the normal stuff you would expect maybe from a public school. Like, we had our own dances. We had field trips, like ASB type field trips to, like Disneyland or the movies or Knott's Berry Farm, stuff like that. Since we do live in California, it's not too far to drive over there. Southern California, I should say. So that was all there for me. Um, we just never had any of those more exotic type trips, I guess I should say. I'm a little jealous if I'm being honest. Just a little jealous, but I'll live. Kind of living vicariously through the kids now, to an extent, so not too bad. You know, one thing that I'm still kind of jealous about, even though I'm now approaching 10 years out of high school. It's not quite 10 years yet, but I'm getting there slowly. So I graduated in 2019, right? So at this point, it's gonna be, I think, 7 years since then. And when I graduated, I didn't have the choice to do a foreign language in middle school. So back in, if you do the math, back in 2015, 2016, around then, I never had the choice to do foreign language classes in middle school. But now, just about any school you go to, whether it's my district or any other district, you'll hear about kids taking Spanish and other languages in middle school, which is awesome. And again, makes me jealous because it fulfills your requirements for high school if you choose to take it then. So I'm thinking if I would have taken Spanish in middle school, I could have had an extra class in high school, or I could have had a short schedule. Would have been so nice. So nice, man. I was one of those kids who had a long schedule because I was in band. So in the mornings we would have to do marching band. Because for some reason they do that. I don't know why, but at the crack of dawn, they're like, okay guys, get to school, get your instruments, and get on the field. We're going to do some marching and playing, which is insane. My brain's not even fully awake yet, and you're having me do all this coordinated movement and fine motor skill stuff. I guess the other option would be have it at the end of the day. I guess it kind of conflicts with sports. You know, football starts to have their practices at that time. It's pretty hot by then, at least towards the end of the year, for sure. And at the beginning of the year, really. So I guess that makes some sense, you know, just have it in the morning, get it out of the way, and to have the field open for us. Oh, who is calling me right now? Potential spam. Get that. I've been getting a lot of those in the past couple of days. Let me finish my thought really quick, but yeah, I was one of those kids with a long schedule. So I had an early morning. I had to show up before first period. You might call it zero period. So I did that, and then we also had to meet after school for marching band as well, because when the field was open, we had to practice, and if it wasn't open, we had regular after-school practices to work on music. So we would just stay in the classroom and work on that. So every day we would meet early, and then like 2 or 3 days out of the week we would stay late. So an extra little break in my schedule would have been amazing, but I just didn't have that option. Especially not because I was also a college kid. So,
Bacon brownies. You want one? Oh, shit, wait.
oh,
I forgot about me trying to shove you off this mortal coil. Can't be giving brownies to just any vengeance-driven D-wad now, can I? Hey, you know if zombies like brownies?
I like brownies. I want a brownie. I hope they're not filled with bile and rotten organic material, but I want a brownie. So yeah, I don't know. All I'm saying is I was a nerd. Shout out to all my nerds out there who have long schedules or extra classes because of university requirements. I was one of those kids. Um, and a little break in there would have been awesome, but I just didn't have that option. Anyways, what was I saying? I was saying about spam calls because someone just called me. I've been getting a lot of spam calls in the past couple of days, and I have no idea why or where they came from. I must have given my number out to some website. Maybe it's TikTok, and they're like new terms of services or something like that, but I've been getting a lot of spam calls. I got like 10 in one day yesterday, and then I got some more the other day before that. And they're still calling me, so I don't know what is up with that. I say it might be TikTok because TikTok recently changed their terms of service, and it's been like a hot button thing on the app right now. Because people are always worried about their data being kept by certain entities, whether it's the American government, the Chinese government, some private companies that sell it for certain goods and services and all that. I personally don't really mind all too much because I already put myself on the internet. So a lot of my information is just kind of out there, or I tell you my information directly. So, you know, a lot of what they can get, I kind of already have said, that stuff before, or you can kind of infer it for yourself. But if I had to guess, I would guess my phone number maybe is one of those ones that is a bit more valuable because obviously I'm not going to tell you my phone number, and I guess at this point it could be traded around and people can use it to spam call and I don't know, try to reach me to do some scams or try to get me to vote in some election a certain way or something like that. I don't know. I've just been ignoring them. I've heard if you ignore spam calls, they have a tendency to diminish because they might record your number as being inactive. I don't know how true that is, but I've heard that's a thing. So I've just been ignoring them and hoping they stop. But I have no email list that I'm on right now that would have my phone number. That'd be something. I just don't know yet. Man, we're finally at the bridge. Feels like it's been forever. And we're finally here.